Okay, so I'm recording this video. Let's see. I have a certificate of completion just showing that I'm certified and competent in the field of hypnosis. It's from Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with reading my introduction. Please watch my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. I will leave a link to watch the video in the description. I will also leave additional links in the description of other relevant videos. I've been abused with hypnosis. My ability to speak is being inhibited with hypnosis, which is why I have to read everything when I make videos. If you notice me stuttering, speaking slowly, being unable to speak clearly, or any other difficulty speaking, I explain in detail the specific methods and techniques that are being used to inhibit my ability to speak in my video, Hypnosis, Abuse, and Speech Inhibition. These issues speaking occur consistently in each of my videos, specifically within the first 3 minutes. The hypnosis inhibiting my ability to speak is often very noticeable throughout my videos, and I will leave a list of the various hypnotic commands that are specifically being used to inhibit my ability to speak that can be recognized in my body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and speech patterns in the description. So, moving on, let's see. What I was going to by the way, with continuing from the last video, this is about the hypnotic sleep deprivation, and let's see, caused by hypnosis to decrease resistance to post-hypnotic suggestions and to prevent other people from recognizing the hypnotic impairment and abuse. Give me just a moment here. Let me see. The hypnosis isn't hitting me. The hypnosis isn't hitting me. When I was doing anything, okay. That's right, I remember. So, this didn't happen before. I experienced no symptoms of sleep deprivation until I began resisting post-hypnotic suggestions. Sorry about that. And so not only did I experience no symptoms of sleep deprivation until I began resisting the post-hypnotic suggestions, but sorry about that. Hypnosis is abusing me and inhibiting me right now. Again, let's see. Okay. When I noticed the when I noticed I wasn't sleep deprived, and I was hypnotized to feel symptoms of sleep deprivation. I noticed sorry about that. Hypnosis is in post-hypnotic suggestion. So I noticed I was hypnotized. And I noticed I was hypnotized. And I noticed I was hypnotized to feel the symptoms of sleep deprivation. Wow, the hypnosis is inhibiting me. I was hypnotized. Oh, oh, wow. The symptoms were reduced to 1/10 of the severity. And let me see, were suddenly and let me see, the hypnosis is inhibiting me. 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 This is the hypnosis is inhibiting me. 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 Okay, so I also noticed, not only did I cross things out on this page that wasn't a piece of scratch paper, that you can see here, but I also noticed that I completely skipped the sentence that I was supposed to write. I went into when I noticed it instead. So right here, the hypnotic speech impairment and abuse, the hypnotic speech impairment and abuse, when I noticed, because I was supposed to write, I experienced no symptoms of sleep deprivation, but I wrote it on the wrong piece of paper. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this now. When I noticed I wasn't sleep deprived, and the hypnosis was replicating the symptoms of sleep deprivation. As a method of discreetly impairing cognition The hypnosis is inhibiting me so much. When I noticed I wasn't sleep deprived and the hypnosis was replicating the symptoms of sleep deprivation as a method of discreetly impairing cognition, uh, the severity of the symptoms suddenly decreased to approximately 1/10 um, and basically this was because they didn't want to completely um, they didn't want me to completely experience go from experiencing severe symptoms because of the hypnosis to experiencing no symptoms at all, because it would be too noticeable. Very elaborate, but still at the same time it still defies logic of the situation, and I mean logic of other possible causes and explanations for the situation other than that of hypnosis. Um, Sorry about that. Hypnosis is inhibiting me right now. The hypnosis is inhibiting me right now. Post-hypnotic suggestion to feel angry, resisting post-hypnotic suggestions. When I noticed I wasn't sleep deprived and the hypnosis was replicating the symptoms of sleep deprivation, um, the severity of the symptoms decreased to approximately 1/10. Um, because this should not be difficult to do. Suddenly decreased to approximately 1/10 to an attempt to remain subtle or discreet, or an attempt to make me question that. So like this would happen with a lot of the different post-hypnotic suggestions too. Decreasing it to about 1/10 of the severity, which um, was just to try to remain subtle and discreet about the post-hypnotic suggestions when the post-hypnotic suggestions would be like defying logic in the situation. Um, this is like the same type of thing that made me quit smoking cigarettes because I noticed that, like, say for example, I was smoking a cigarette. About halfway through the cigarette, I felt like I had too much nicotine, um, like nauseated from smoking too much. So then I put out the cigarette, and then not more than 10 seconds later, because I was reading about it, actually because I was writing about the hypnosis. I was hypnotized to feel an extreme urge to smoke another cigarette, and that was like okay, so I mean I just had too much nicotine, and now I have to smoke another cigarette when I just barely put out the cigarette, I wasn't able to finish. That doesn't make sense. So that's when I quit smoking entirely, because the hypnosis was being used to make me feel the urge to smoke cigarettes, just as a method of abusing me. So regardless, I'm trying to just finish this. I'm trying to finish this. Suddenly decreased to approximately 1/10. The hypnosis is inhibiting me. When I noticed I wasn't sleep deprived and the hypnosis was, I'm so far behind. I'm so far behind because of the hypnosis. This is so abusive. This is so abusive. This is so abusive. This is so abusive. The symptoms of sleep deprivation as a method of discreetly impairing cognition. The severity of the symptoms suddenly decreased to approximately 1/10. Um, in order to in an attempt to keep the hypnosis undetected or in an attempt to keep to in an attempt to hypnosis is inhibiting me right now, and to approximately 1/10 to in an attempt to prevent the hypnosis from being detected. To have the hypnosis remain undetected. There we go. I was also hypnotized to think of splinter cell when I used the word undetected for whatever reason. Or remain, I don't know, but so decreased to approximately 1/10 in an attempt to have the hypnosis remain undetected. and I can write because so I'm like, the hypnosis is only allowing me to write like one word at a time. And I attempt to have the hypnosis remain undetected because the hypnosis, I need to articulate a sentence, or at least a portion of a sentence, instead of like a few words at a time or one word at a time. In an attempt to have the hypnosis remain undetected because the it would be, it was too noticeable, or it would be too noticeable. If it completely stopped. And there was something else that I wanted to say about this too. Something else I wanted to say about this too. There was something else I wanted to say about this too. It's supposed to be less noticeable, but oh well, I mean, trying to make me question the reality of the situation, but oh, that's right. So when post-hypnotic suggestions were elicited in situations that couldn't happen that couldn't occur coincidentally, logically, that or when post-hypnotic suggestions were elicited in situations that defied logic for the or that were unexplained. And specifically like when negative or abuse, like when negative post-hypnotic suggestions were elicited in situations that defied logic for the circumstance for how when post-hypnotic suggestions were elicited in situations that defied logic. Hypnosis is doing this right now, right? Because it's inhibiting me, and there's no reason that I should have. There's no logical reason. 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 When negative post-hypnotic suggestions were elicited in situations that defied logic for the And all I'm trying to explain, like, for example, if I was hypnotized to feel hungry, um, but, like I just barely ate or something like that, and there's no logical explanation for it. The cognitive impairment, if there's no logical explanation for it, this would be, or, like, say, for example, the desire to smoke a cigarette, feeling tired when I'm not tired. It just defies the logic for the situation. And it was an attempt to remain undetected. Oh, that's right, because when negative post-traumatic suggestions were elicited in situations that were unexplained. By logic.